Digimon Adventure. One of the best examples of cool kids shows that come out of the 90s. And was one of my personal favorite shows growing up. And boy, does it feel kinda weird knowing that it's almost 14 years since I first sat down in front of my little Sony Trinitron TV and got to experience the world of Digimon. But now I'm gonna take a look back and try to take off my rose-colored glasses and see if this season lives up to the memories I had of it. Now, I'm gonna level with you. There are two seasons that I'm gonna talk about that I think are going to be very hard to critically look at, for completely different reasons. But Adventure is one of those two. One of the big reasons is because it is the first season. I mean, with Cross Wars, I was able to point to examples from previous seasons to help me explain how the season could have been improved. But yeah, can't do that with Adventure because there were no seasons before it. So what can I compare it to? There's nothing I can really compare it to. Hypothetically, if I were to say that Joe's character development was handled poorly, I then ask myself, when it's compared to what? Do you kind of get what I'm meaning with that? I'm also aware of several limitations that the show had. I mean, like writing limitations, budget limitations. So I feel kind of like a jerk if I made a big deal about the fact that the evolution animation that they use is abusive in length and is reused constantly. Because guess what? Because of the budget that they were given, Digimon animators had to rely heavily on reused animation. So it would seem kind of unfair to criticize them for working within their own budget. Also, allegedly, Digimon was only supposed to be 13 episodes long, but then got extended to about 54 episodes long. And I'm going to imagine when something like that happens, that leads to a lot of rushed writing, and can also make it very hard to properly foreshadow certain events or characters, like, say, Apocalypse. Seasons after this, though, don't really have that excuse, because I'm going to imagine by the time that '02 came out, the Digimon TV show had become an established part of the franchise and probably had a more concrete number of episodes they had to produce. Now you would think with all those handicaps, Digimon Adventure would just be a giant mess. But actually, I thought it was a superb show for the time. I mean, the kids were interesting, the Digimon were cool, and the digital world itself was pretty nice. It was very expansive, and it was just something that as a little kid I really wanted to explore. And that's why Digimon Adventure is so important. Not only for being the first season in the series, but also for being the representation of what a Digimon series is at its most basic fundamental principles. A fun adventure with some interesting kids and some cool Digimon. And a small dose of trauma-inducing murder. So with that, let's take a objective but fair look at everyone's favorite Digimon season. See you next time.